Hello, fellow filmophiles. Are you frequenting the media platforms looking for that next special podcast that'll get you in the mood or find you the right movie to watch for your special night? Well, guess what? You should check out Torn Reels with Andy as the host and his brother Sean as the co-host. You can never go wrong with whatever subject they bring up next. Wake up, bitches. It's Saturday, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Our Corner, the only podcast where nothing else matters.
And Gabby eats shit on the floor. She didn't think we saw that.
I saw her,
we
too.
All saw that.
Yeah, we all
she
saw that.
She fucking slipped with her clown-ass shoes. Anyway, what's going on,
All of our
buddy?
fans are laughing at you right now.
All of our fans. Tony's laughing at you, okay?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I'm your host, Aaron. With me today is the main man himself.
I've been Sean sometimes.
And
depends on the season.
Yeah, depends on the day.
Depends on the day, man. It's today, tomorrow. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's not.
Every day that ends in Y.
You're hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're no, bro. Straight up Katy Perry style. That's how I live. I'm gay one day and I'm not the other. I don't know, man. You know, shit happens.
This is fucking wild, dude.
Hate crimes, bro.
I gotta be careful when you're waking up, man.
you never know, bro. I'll get in there. You know shit. I'm sorry. Keep going.
Okay, so you know something that caught my interest this week?
Probably a lot of things.
Yeah, dude. Actually, a lot of things caught my interest this week, but one that I thought would be really fun was something that turned out to be absolutely like just fake, and you actually brought it up to me. Remember what it was?
Oh, the Lars Ulrich suing what's his face? Suing a YouTuber who makes fun of him. Hang on, let me turn down this Huracan real quick because it looks like this is a little too much. I can't turn it down.
Too much. There we go.
That's just oscillating, I think. Hang on.
We're having a lot of technical difficulty. All right,
I did it. Yeah.
Okay,
or did I turn it off? Fuck, now we're going to die. Okay.
So good news is that this will be a really quick show.
Yeah. We're going to start sweating
If
profusely.
you don't know, we're in Arizona, almost July.
Yeah, bro, we're going to start sweating more than Nixon. Anyway, keep going.
So we were talking about the YouTuber here who talked about how Lars Ulrich sent him a cease and desist letter. And, you know, one of the things that made me laugh was that's a very Lars Ulrich thing to do.
Yeah, he would totally do that. Like, a little bit more background. Like, I know I kind of was drifting off there because I was trying to figure out the whole thing with the fan. But he makes his whole channel about, like, making fun of how he sounds when he's playing. And he's like, what if, like, you know, Lars Ulrich played for Eric Clapton or whatever, right?
Right.
And he even throws jabs at actual Metallica songs where he has Metallica Master Puppets, what Lars did, and then what he did, and what he could have done, and it sounds like way better. And people were saying, well, he was saying that Lars Ulrich and Metallica sent him a cease and desist letter because of the fact that he was making fun of him, and everyone started speculating that it was because the hooks sounded better in the songs that he was redoing and all that stuff. That the fills sounded cleaner. That basically overall that he was a better drummer than Metallica's Lars Ulrich. Now, we would love to defend him, but no, he's shitty.
Yeah, he's making this whole thing up.
He's pretty bad.
I will
that
say
that guy's making it up, but
yeah,
Lars Ulrich is really bad.
They're both pieces of shit. But like let's face it, right? Metallica, they have some good songs, but as human beings, they suck.
Yeah,
they really do. I mean,
for the most part.
Let's be real. They bullied their first bassist before Cliff Burton.
Cliff Burton was their first bassist.
No.
Yeah.
We'd have to look that up, but
I'm 100% sure that it's Cliff Burton then Jason.
I think they were hiring Cliff Burton and they had a bassist with him. The dude was quitting because he was chauffeuring.
No, even Megadeth said that it was fucking Cliff. Cliff was
Really?
was the original. Yeah.
Oh my god!
It was a different.
So I found that out through like another fucking YouTube channel that I was watching.
Yeah, it might have been before Metallica was Metallica.
Probably before
because they weren't Metallica before, and I know that Dave Mustaine had another bassist where he was working with James, but as far as Metallica goes, Cliff Burton is the original.
That
might be what you're talking about.
They had the bassist, and they were like, "Oh yeah,"
but they weren't Metallica.
They weren't Metallica. Yeah. But you know, even so far as to be like when they were re-releasing and just to stay on like Megadeth thing, right? First of all, they kicked out
Dave Mustaine.
Dave Mustaine. I don't know why I'm blanking on the fucking
That's
name.
okay, man. I get it. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I
so-
totally get you.
So they kicked out Dave Mustaine, right? And they did it by getting him a bus pass, which, by the way, really nice of them because fucking Lemmy got kicked out of his band and they just left him where he was at. So, you know, like, some of that is like, yeah, you're kind of a dick for waking him up after, like, being hungover and giving him a bus pass and packing his shit.
Yeah.
But, like, they packed your shit and gave you a bus pass. Like,
Hey, they owed him. He wrote the whole first fucking album.
right, but they even tried to fight him to get, like, the credit. So I'm like,
Yeah.
part of that isn't really, like, you're being nice to the guy. You're just trying to, like, make it easier to do what you need to do. And people have said that about the bandmates from Metallica being very manipulative towards people, where it's like, hey, they talk shit about people, like, other bands who tour with them
Yeah.
that like them. That, you know, I think it was Axl Rose who came out and was like, dude, people who like them and avidly tour with them and
Yeah.
stuff, they talk shit.
Okay, we can't wait, back up here. We can't take too much credit of what Axl Rose says because he talks shit about everybody.
Oh my god,
Bro,
left and right.
Part of the reason that Izzy left the band is because of the fact that that asshole Axl was.
Yeah, I mean,
was
you're not
about to-
wrong.
was about to fight with Motley Crue's Vince Neil.
Oh
So
shit.
that's and then Izzy stepped up and defended him and did all that stuff. Like that's why they had big conflicts. Those bands, but like, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna say it, and I don't feel bad. Kirk, you killed Cliff Burton, bro. All you had to do was just give him the fucking bottom bunk, and you would have died instead. Like we could live the world without Cliff, but not with like we could live the world with Cliff, not without him. But you, I mean, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it, bro.
I mean,
no, I'm just kidding.
Exodus-
He's actually
yeah.
a great guitarist.
He's actually a
actually
really
really
good
good.
guitarist. I was gonna say, like,
He's actually really
Exodus, man, really, but no, they're actually really good.
good. Yeah, he
And
was
they
actually
even,
pretty good.
I even read a little bit about the book that Anthrax wrote when they were
Anthrax?
Anthrax. that's
You
what
said
I
Anthrax.
Yo,
What is
fucking
wrong
lay
with
off.
you?
Lay the fuck off.
What is wrong with you? Are you
What's-
alright?
No,
Do you need urgent care?
no. I think
Do
I'm
you have
having
your life
strong.
alert on you? A strong?
A strong.
A strong. Dope. How are you? You're progressively getting worse on this
It's
podcast,
just-
man.
Just slowly be like, call ambulance.
Call woo. It's like, bitch, are you alright?
I need woo.
No, but like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Lars Ulrich, and I know I've always ripped on Lars Ulrich, and I stand by it. Like, I don't like him. I don't like
No.
the guy. I don't like the guy at all. Like, he's not that great of a drummer. Let's be honest.
Mediocre.
But okay, I'm not gonna say mediocre. He's just not that great of a drummer. I don't think he's that great of a drummer. Let's be honest. And it's not like the whole well, where is he? Where are you? Yeah, you're right. He's more famous than me, but he actually got there because of his bandmates.
Yeah.
Like his bandmates. If it wasn't for Dave Mustaine, Metallica probably wouldn't have gone anywhere because he
Absolutely.
created it.
Absolutely. I can actually agree with you that. I think they took what Dave Mustaine did and they ran with it, which good for them. You know, congratulations. You managed to do that, but in regards to them being a band, like Lars Ulrich has the worst decision-making skills of any fucking human being in that band.
And horrible business skills.
Hetfield follows immediately after.
A dude has dementia.
I mean, it's fucking wild. So, let's be real, right?
Let's do
And
distorted
justice-
drums, guys. No. Sorry.
And Injustice for All. And Justice for All, Lars Ulrich was on the mixer.
Let's turn down the bass. Cool. Let's make your music flat. Awesome. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's make all your music
So-
flat. Everyone? All of them.
Dude, so much so that the guy who was the sound engineer that was working on the project was like, dude, he kept like trying to get out of it and quit and stuff. And management was all, no, fam, you're on a contract. He's like, but I'm not even doing anything. I don't want to be tied to this project because he's just
A douche.
and that's what it is like he's being a douche. And
The
Again-
guys from Guitar Hero were gonna drop Metallica because, like, not just because like Lars Ulrich was a douchebag. Because there's literally a YouTube video. Please go look it up. Go look up Lars Ulrich, Shortest Straw, Guitar Hero, and he's trying to play Shortest Straw by his own band, the thing that he wrote, and he can't get the timing right. He can't.
Oh, they
can't
bag
get it,
on
and
him
I'm
for
like,
timing
bro.
all the time. Have you seen like where he's drumming live and he's playing the wrong song?
Yeah, It's like
And
you
it's like,
no,
you fucking donut. Like, get
you don't.
switch back to the beat. They're not gonna switch around you. They've already started. Like,
They're louder than you.
they're louder than you, and on top of that, you're not the important one here. Like, remember, like everybody needs a drummer. Drummers are extremely important, right?
Minus him.
But don't put yourself more important than the actual show.
Yeah.
So like that's the real like circle around on that. And to be 100% even more transparent, like the fact that they had a documentary that showed you what the whole band actually looked like in every scenario, the only person who was really just being like, "Hey guys," like
Was
come
Kirk.
on, was Kirk.
Was
Like,
Kirk.
He was like, "Hey guys, let's all like take it down. Like remember, we're all trying to do this project. Like, dude, like blessed be the peacekeepers, man, because
Yeah.
you're about it. Like, you know what? I really don't have a beef with Kirk, and maybe that's
No, I was
like,
just trying to gaslight him in the beginning. I was just trying to gaslight him, make him feel bad.
Like that dude's cool, but like you have James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich for sure have like probably caused more people to quit that band than anything.
Yeah.
Because like even look at James Newsted, right?
Jason
Like,
Newsted.
Jason Newsted. Wow. Okay. Jason Newsted. Jesus, dude.
Sorry.
I don't know. I fucked that one up. But Jason Newsted, right? He's a fucking phenomenal bassist, bro.
He is. He's
and
actually
he
really
fucking
good.
smashed on a lot of the songs and did everything that was asked of him. But they treated him like absolute fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Like how hard is that to sit there and be like, "Hey, no, I absolutely am psyched to play with one of the largest names out there,"
Yeah.
and then come back and be like, "Hey, bro, you know what? It's not worth it. Don't fucking deal with them."
To give Metallica credit and learning from some mistakes, Robert Trujillo has no complaints about Metallica. He loves being in it. He thinks that everyone takes equal part in writing albums, which is great.
Yeah.
Especially because Trujillo, coming from suicidal tendencies, like he's a great bass player.
Oh, he is absolutely.
He's a great bass player. So just seeing Trujillo up there is just like great. It's awesome.
Phenomenal, and he's got a great stage presence that just kind of complements what they're doing.
So really, when we talk about Metallica, we're talking about Hetfield and fucking Ulrich.
Yeah, like because they're at this point, it's like I just can't stand the fact that they're both so pretentious. I mean, dude, Ulrich, don't you have another Napster app to fucking follow and hate on or some
Bro,
shit? Like,
seriously, they sued Napster. Hey, bro, how's those deals with Spotify coming? Yeah, all right.
it's wild.
Anyway,
And the fucking other artists were even like, "Yo, bro, like
You're
over
dumb.
pennies,
yeah,
over pennies,
The-
because you're making like
the fucking fact that Ulrich was like, that's our main point of money. It's like, no, it's not. It hasn't been your main point of money since the 70s. Nobody in the music industry since the 70s has made money off of directly their songs, off of directly their recorded albums. You make a fraction of that, and then the rest is touring. That's why people tour for so goddamn long.
Yeah.
That's why they tour so goddamn always.
That's why they have a whole 2023 schedule that has like every single fucking day in there, because it's like, hey,
Yeah.
we're going to get there for this day. Then we're packing up. We're leaving. We're going immediately at this day.
Yeah.
And then that's how you fucking, as a band, you make your money. Like, that's why they're so tired. That's why they have so little energy when you
Why do you
fucking
think
meet
the
them.
Rolling Stones are still touring in their hundreds? Like,
Because they're still making money. Like, that's
Yeah.
the fucking...
in between nap time and applesauce, they get to tour. Like, that's pretty dope. Like, but that's why, because that's what they make money off of. Bro, you can't look at Keith Richards' hands and tell me he does not have arthritis. No one believes you, bro. Them knuckles as big as door knockers, bro. Tell me that I'm wrong. Bro, he has all the arthritis.
Bitches look like that fucking Elder Wand from Harry Potter, bro. Like,
Keith
it's just
Richards
wild.
pointing left and right at the same time with one finger, dog. Like, that's how bad his fingers are.
It's fucking... Dude, stop.
It's horrible. Dude, seriously. Audience, Tony, primarily, go look up fucking Keith Richards' hands.
He's got
It's
that.
horrible, bro. He's literally sitting there like this, and like 3 of his fingers are pointing up, and then the last 2 are pointing like straight down. It's horrible. It's horrendous.
It's wild. It really is.
But that's
though.
why they're touring, because that's what they make money off of.
Right.
So Ulrich's whole point of suing Napster, of being like, oh, that's basically where we get our money. It's like, no, that's not where you get your money. And even now, because of the fact that you sued, if anything, you sped up time. You sped up the time, because maybe maybe Napster, honestly, even though it was pretty big back then, I don't know anybody who really knew it back then.
Not just that, but like whenever you were doing like songs off of like Napster, whenever you're doing songs off of LimeWire, you got nothing but like computer diseases, which
I don't know what porn you were watching, but
Fucking definitely the kind you get on LimeWire or
he had
Napster.
that gladiator file. Anyway, but but no,
He said Lord Caucus.
no, but like, no, seriously, though, like with Napster, I didn't really know anybody. Like even going back and talking to my mom who was younger in that day, and was actually like involved with LimeWire and everything like that. We're not gonna talk about federal crimes that she's broken, but she was involved with all that. She didn't even use Napster. She goes, I didn't know about Napster until Metallica, and I
Yeah.
was like, imagine there's a whole group of people who didn't know about Napster until Metallica. So that means that what you did is you effectively put Napster on the map and then rushed them to start creating things like iHeartRadio, Pandora, fucking Spotify, Amazon Music.
Because I remember
Apple
Pandora
iTunes.
coming out fucking
Yeah.
almost immediately after. The other thing that made me fucking laugh
I don't
about
think
this,
Pandora came out right afterwards, but
well, it
what is
wasn't
it?
like immediately. Like again,
Rhapsody came out right
Rhapsody
after.
did come out.
Rhapsody
immediately
was that
after.
one. That one was
And-
the first one that had the first licensings to have all the fucking
Yeah.
artists there legally.
But you know what? This is what got me, and this is the incredible part, right? It always seems like throughout history, it's always like Metallica versus somebody because of those two.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just strictly because of the fact that they have the biggest ego.
Yeah. They
Out
sued
of-
for Whiskey in a Jar. Someone did a cover of Whiskey in a Jar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
They were
they
gonna
sued
sue a
for-
cover band. Oh my god, it was a cover. It was a Canadian cover band.
A
Canadian-
Canadian cover band.
that-
How threatened do you feel that you? you had
They
to
were
sue
like they
Canadians?
sent a cease and desist letter, and then when they got all of the fucking what is it? The lashing out.
Backlash,
Thank you. Oh my
bro.
god,
What is
dude.
wrong with you,
I don't know. I'm fucking retarded today.
bro?
Yeah, yeah, my fucking.
You'd be
my
hooked
s-
on that phonics, bro.
Bro, I'm not. Dude, I wish I was hooked on phonics. It would be explaining a lot of shit right now. But
Bruh.
no, it seems like when they went to go sue this Canadian cover band, right? They sent us. There was a cease and desist letter sent. After the backlash from the fans, they were like, "Oh no, it was our overzealous lawyers that did it," and they even went so far as to be like, "We reached out to the band and told them, keep doing what you're doing because you're doing a good job." It's like, no, you didn't.
And the Canadian band, okay.
Yeah, they
The
were
both
like,
the both responses.
like, what was it? What is it? One of the Napster deals ended up suing like a fucking, I think it was like a 13-year-old girl for $2,000 for the fucking crimes. It was like, Metallica, you don't have a great image. Like, you have great songs,
Yeah,
not a great drummer, but great songs.
great songs.
And then on top of that, like, you're just like, we get it. You don't fucking care. Odds are pretty good. They'll probably never hear this fucking podcast.
And if they do, they'll
ever.
probably sue us.
Yeah, and if they do, they'll send us a cease and desist letter, and I'll tell them eat a fucking cock. It's
We'll just
it's
laugh.
wild. Yeah, which is wild because like that I'm a big fucking. I choose Metallica over Megadeth, which
Naive
again
fool.
which is why you like you disagree with me on that.
Yeah,
That's
of
cool.
course.
But I have
Don't
to
get me wrong. I like Metallica. I have to give credit where credit's due. And Dave
Yeah.
Mustaine. And again, I have issues with Dave Mustaine too. I think he's a douchebag too. So I think he's an asshole too. But
I think there's a reason he's an asshole though. Like
Yeah, there's
everybody
more.
comes down and starts yelling like Metallica at him. Like they start like flashing lasers or like they're like showing up to his shows being dicks. Like
not just that though. Like think about it from the beginning. Like the music industry, how did it greet him with a bus ticket after
Yeah.
he wrote and did all the hard work? Like
and then went back and
had to start from
made-
ground zero and started Megadeth.
Yep.
Like
And fucking still rose like even greater heights from that point because during the time frame that he was rising up, wasn't it like more like coming up to be more like Guns N' Roses? Didn't he hit more like when he came in at like the 90s?
no, because thrash was popular back then too as well, but it just didn't have as big of a following. It didn't have as big of a following until like deep into the 80s. That's when thrash started coming out.
Yeah, 'cause
like
I
way
remember-
more.
I remember what is it like late 70s was it that like I don't remember personally, but I remember seeing the timestamps where it's like late 70s is really when you started seeing bands kind of introduce thrash because of the punk scene that was taken.
Yeah, you had bands like Testament come out. You had bands like
Yeah.
What you said, Exodus.
Exodus,
like earlier,
there was,
like Wannabe Thrash or Thrashiest.
what is it? Metal Church came out.
Metal Church,
Metal Church
yeah.
came out more towards like the middle 80s though, when it really started getting that Iron.
Yeah, but they
Maiden
were still
sound.
like one of the first ones. They were still one of the first ones.
Yeah,
They're
they
still
had
pioneers.
they had a
man.
lot. There was
Yeah, you had Pantera that just switched from glam to what is now known as what they thought was like southern metal or thrash
Yeah, they
from
did thrash,
Texas.
but it
From
was,
Texas.
yeah, from Texas thrash. But the other thing is that they were glam metal. Like, don't let anybody fool you.
Yeah.
There is a song out there called power metal where it's Pantera and they're dressed in glam.
And by the way,
Like,
you can always tell the names of bands and their genre that they fit in. And look at that. You see Metallica, you see Megadeth, you see Anthrax, you see Testament, Exodus. Look at the way all these bands are, and then all of a sudden you see Pantera and you go, you don't fit. You don't fit. And then you go over to fucking White Snake and Panther and like what is it, White Panther and all that stuff, and then all you see
what's
Pantera
it,
and you're like,
Scorpions.
oh yeah, you see Scorpions and everything. You see
Yeah,
Pantera, you're
yeah.
like, oh, you fit over here. You don't fit over here. You fit over here.
But I'm glad that they made the switch because they were
Yeah.
important towards the metal scene. But that's
Right.
not really what's important here. What's important is that
Sorry.
we come back. No, we go off on tangents like this all the time because we love the genre.
Yeah,
And it's just so amazing to kind of get into like going backwards and seeing where it all comes from, like what the sound was like, how it's developed. But realistically, this is what I'm saying. Like in regards to like the people that are running it. Like, first of all, Lars Ulrich, retire, bro. Like, we've seen your last few live shows. You're just not swinging it like you used to, man.
yeah.
And even when you were swinging it like you used to, you weren't swinging it. So
I think him and
Yeah.
Nikki need to retire for sure.
Yeah,
him and
I-
Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
I feel like there's a lot of bands right now that need to be like, okay,
We're done.
good, we're done.
I mean, unless you got that energy. If you got that energy like The Who or like Rolling Stones, and you keep it up, bro, keep going. But
Yeah.
if you can't, like, just realize, hey,
that's
bro,
the thing.
we're
If
done.
you
I think
can't run your race, you're good
Yeah.
to go. Like, you've done more than enough. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real.
you guys were a staple to the metal community. You guys continue to influence bands all through
Not just that, but
history.
there were points that they were supportive towards other bands. I can't name them right off the cuff, but like I'm sure that they're out there. Just like Sasquatch or like the Loch Ness Monster, people see them periodically.
And a lot of people are still giving Metallica a lot of shit, even us. But at the same time, it's like they've gotten a lot better. Like even when they did the whole Eddie Munson thing where he played Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
And by the way, salute to that kid because that was all him, and he played it way better. Way better.
What was it? He played it faster.
Faster.
That was supposed to be how it was supposed to sound
Yeah.
until they slowed it down for the drums.
Yeah. For the drum.
Because that's exactly what happened is that they slowed it down for Lars Ulrich. That's
They
that's the
slowed
thing
it
is
down
that one
for
of
Lars
the
Ulrich.
biggest fights that they have is that if you've seen like their documentary, Some Kind of Monster, it's just like it's like Lars Ulrich and James Hetfield bitching back and forth at each other while they're trying to get this project done. By the way, I know you love Saint Anger. I hate saying it. I think it's not their best album.
Oh, I don't like that album. I like
Oh,
that
you just
song,
like that
Saint
song.
Anger, and then Frantic.
Yeah, no, that album sucked dick. Just
Yeah.
like Load and Reload. Like,
Yeah, they suck.
and both of which were like fucking Lars Ulrich idea.
Although I do like Fuel by
Fuel is good.
Fuel.
Fuel is good.
the
And,
drums
you
are pretty
know,
good in that movie.
There's
I
some
mean, in
songs.
that
There's some songs on
movie.
Reload. So like again, you have potential to make great songs. It's just stop being a douchebag. Like, what do you really have to be a douchebag about?
And okay, and again, we're talking shit about Lars Ulrich, but he's also created some of the greatest pieces of drums in metal. He also has like what is it, Blackened, that double bass pedal in the middle, where he starts like fucking just going ape shit and then comes back on beat. That's perfect. Where he's talking about oh, it's still Blackened. He actually skips the beat when he's playing his cymbals. He actually adds one and then drops one at the end musically, so that way it fits in tune. Because the way it was being played didn't fit with the rhythm, so he had to alter it to fit it, and it actually worked out really well. I understand where you're pointing, what you're about to tell me is like, well, if he was a better drummer, he wouldn't need to alter it. But
I wasn't actually gonna say that. I was gonna be like, how much of that do you think is really Lars Ulrich? I mean, like, given the past and given his like, what
I
he
mean,
does,
James plays drums too, so
maybe
Maybe
that was
you're
the
right.
case. But the other thing is that he was the sound engineer on that. So how many times did he have to go back and redo the drums
you know what?
until it made sense? You know what I mean? But
I get that, but at the same time, it's like I don't really now. Okay, and this is gonna sound dumb. After watching a little bit of a short with Billie Eilish
Mhm.
and me getting a better understanding of what they do in the background,
okay,
I actually have more respect for that. So to me, it doesn't matter how many takes you do. To me, it doesn't matter how many takes you do because
I get
Billie
that.
Eilish was talking about her "Bad Guy" fucking song,
yeah,
and she said that she had to redo that like she's like, if I had to guess, like at least 400 times. And
Yeah.
like you can they show the master the master recording track on the computer, and it's like 86 different colors. Like there's so many colors in there. And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah. She goes, this track I had the flu. This track, she goes, I just left crying after the first take. And I was like, oh my God, that
Yeah.
sound engineer needs to be paid way more.
And I want to let you know, I get that it's a very hard process.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not, but you've had the Kill 'Em All album,
Yeah.
Ride the Lightning, you had Master of Puppets, and then came in Justice for All,
Yeah.
right? So you had 3 other albums that you had wrote and were touring with, and then you did Injustice for All, and then you were like, I'm the sound engineer.
Did you mention Ride the Lightning?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't hear it, but I thought you
No, I
mentioned
said it. I said it.
My bad. My
I
bad.
said it. You only did that because Gintech held up 5 fingers.
No, I just didn't hear the fact that you said fucking Ride the Lightning, because
No,
that actually has one of my favorite songs, one of the very best bass intros live to be performed
Yeah.
by none other than Metallica's own Cliff Burton, the
Yeah.
beginning of For Whom the Bells Toll.
Yep. Nope. There is. So again, they're not a bad band overall. They're just kind of bad people, which sucks, man. That's the real kind of thing to it. Is it like, hey,
They just
bro,
suck as people.
yeah, like you have basically everything that you could want. You don't go without wanting, and you
Right.
continue to fight your fans. You continue to fight the bands that idolize you. That's the real
And look
like,
up, that idolize you. Sorry, I was about to say, and look up to you, but that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Fucking
and
idiot.
it's a sad story because it's like that's the kind of thing that people say don't meet your heroes about.
Yeah.
Which most people will always say, well, Metallica will go down in history for its music, and that's great, but what else have they really done? Like look at Alice Cooper. Guy's a good guy, genuinely.
Yeah.
Lately into older age, he's become kind of wild,
Yeah.
but
But that happens with
to
everybody. The older
everyone.
you get, the crabbier you get. I mean, look at Dio. Look how great he was with fans.
Oh my God, and that's the thing is that like people remember Dio for being Dio. Like it's just one of those things that I feel that while this YouTuber who called it out, he's a garbage human being for starting fake news and trying to go about it. But
I mean,
the fact that
hang on. As far as we know that it's fake news.
right,
As far as we know that it's fake news.
this could just be again he could have gotten a letter personally from Lars Ulrich that was a reach out letter saying like, hey bro, stop.
Yeah, I mean, because, okay, think about it this way. Not only have they lied before about their overzealous, like, fucking lawyer, but promoters do this all the time. Like, they do shit like that where they'll send, like, anonymous letters pretending to be, like, shit like that. Like, okay, I heard the story on Reddit about, do you remember that TikTok trend about the girl who's on TikTok trying to figure out what's her next song going to be? And they're like, oh, use the song with the alphabet. And she has that famous, like, TikTok reel where she says F, U, and, all that
Yep.
shit. That one. So people were trying to figure out how she got that idea, and it turns out that when she had a Q&A, a live Q&A, her manager created a burner account and went there and said, hey, you should do it with the alphabet, because they had already planned the song. They had already planned the song, written the song, and recorded the song. So they did it as promo, so that way she'd be like, I mean, it's a hard one, but I guess I'll try. You know what I mean? They planned that promotion. So God knows if that's really like fake. Even though Metallica and this Reddit chain is saying that it's fake,
Yeah.
how do we know it's not Metallica's lawyer trying to do PR like cover up now that the guy
Right,
exposed him and
someone
goes,
trying
hey,
to
bro,
get out there a burner account or something
Yeah.
like that. And again, this it
trying to do
could be-
damage control.
could be like it. That's the thing is that like if it's fake, dude, shame on you for trying to fucking do something. Like we know that they're not the best people in the world, but we don't need you adding with fake stuff, because then when the next person comes out and be like, this really happened, you're gonna have people be like, well,
Yeah.
hold on.
Well, because this guy faked it. How much
Yeah.
more of it is fake?
How much more of this is fake?
Right.
And then but to also boot with that, if this is real, come on, Metallica. Like, how
Really?
much more money do you need? How many more nickels are gonna make it
Yeah.
so that way?
Because that's the reason why you sued Napster. That's the reason why.
Really what it is.
Not because you weren't making money off of your records. It's because you don't make money off your records. But you figured if you sued Napster and you got away with it, you would be able to stop people from using what little nickels you could and control the recording market. And that's not
Right.
what was going to happen.
And unfortunately, you got backlash from fans. You got backlash from other artists. And let's be real. Like, again, we can't trust 100% what Axl Rose says. But the fact is that you explode enough, like there's got to be some truth, even in like
Yeah.
even in somebody's head. Like
Right.
that's the thing is that like you can tell that like Metallica itself, they might be supportive of certain people, but that's only out in the open.
Yeah. Right.
We've
It's for
seen them
PR
when they
shit.
do when they did the documentary. We saw like their true colors, like
Yeah.
how they actually think, how they actually feel, what they actually do. Like that was a bad move because people can look at you and be like psychologically, like this is their MO.
Yeah.
Like they wait until people aren't paying attention to talk shit
And that's who they
and then
really
start
are.
the beefs and then turn around and be like, well, listen, man, we did it as like a good joke. You know, it was just kind of a contest. We go back and forth. And even in interviews, like Lars Ulrich tries to kind of like play it off and be like, no, man, like, you know, it was very soft hearted. And like, dude, like, enough of that.
Yeah, we were playing it up for the camera. It's like, nah, you weren't playing it up.
Like,
You know that you weren't playing it up.
like
And
us and like when they talked about their 90s tour with Guns N' Roses, right? They talk about how like everything was split 50-50. Nobody had any real bad blood. Like we basically was like we were okay with Guns N' Roses closing every time. And somebody's got to open for somebody, right? So like we'd have like sometimes you'd have Motorhead open up and then we'd play, but we always would play before them. Well, how much of that is being like, hey, we're Metallica, we're gonna play before you?
well, no, because back then they were on tour with GNR. They weren't on tour. Metallica wasn't on tour with like Guns N' Roses wasn't on tour with Metallica. Metallica was on tour with GNR. So
Really?
GNR was a
So
headliner.
that was because that's what I was hearing from the source there that like it was Guns N' Roses and Metallica teamed up, and it
No,
wasn't just that
no, no, no,
Guns
no,
N'
no,
Roses.
no, 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 no. Guns N' Roses was a headliner on that tour. The reason that Guns N' Roses was a headliner on that tour is because that was the day of the riot. That's the day of the riot where Axl Rose got up and said, "Due to the poor ass security, I'm going home." And he slammed the mic down and walked off. And Metallica was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And then the riots started going out where they started burning the shit, and they had to escort Metallica. Remember, because that's the only story that all
That's right.
that Lars Ulrich actually goes, "Bro, I was fucking terrified," and they were all like genuinely scared, like, "Oh my god, like they're gonna fucking riot, they're gonna kill us," and they had to exit them through the band, or through the back with the vans because even, what is it? James went up to Axel was like, "Hey, bro, like where the fuck did you go?" Because then when they resumed their tour, James got burned almost right after.
Yeah, the Montreal
Yeah,
accident.
he almost got burnt. He got burnt almost like I think almost like a few months after he got burnt.
There was a few. There was like what is it like 3 or 4 canceled shows from there.
Yeah,
So it's very wild to like kind of look at that. And you know, I know we kind of bounce back and forth throughout this whole genre of like, hey, this is what happened here, this is what happened here. So to put it up in a timeline here, just to kind of get an idea, Napster was after the Guns N' Roses tour,
wait after this was in Napster was in
right?
the 90s,
So
like way late in the 90s,
way late in the '90s, and then what is it? Fucking
or
Guns N'
later in the
Roses
90s rather.
was earlier in the '90s, before Reload, before Load, before even Saint Anger came out.
I think the album at the time for what was it for fucking you forgot the Black Album.
Black Album was what came out where they started touring with Guns
Yeah,
N' Roses.
it was Black Album and then Use Your Illusion 1 and 2
Yeah,
for
and then
GNR.
what is it? They then came during the '90s, Load and Reload, and then the 2000s was when they started releasing Saint Anger.
Yeah, I think so. I believe that's right.
Which again, it's
Death
the
Magnetic
Napster.
though, great.
Yeah, they kind of been picking it up lately, especially with Lux Eterna.
Lux Eterna was a great song.
Great song.
Great song.
You're getting back to where you're needing to be. So
Yeah.
like sound wise, you guys are great. Personality wise, you know, like pick it up a little. You know, just
I think they've
stop.
gotten better, but I think that there's still a lot of shit that they need to work on.
Yeah, like you know, you're not. Like even fucking Ozzy doesn't give a fuck about cover bands.
The Ozzy's also dying, so
I mean, like I get it, but like even when there were cover bands, he didn't give a fuck about them.
yeah.
Like, cause if you tell me like, hey, bro,
If a cover band's better than you, that's a problem.
yeah, especially if it's your music that they're playing, like
Or you could do like Judas Priest did. They steered into the curb. They saw a band that was pretty close to them. They're like, "Oh, it's a cover band. Yeah, they actually sound pretty close to us. Hey, singer, how would you like to tour the world with the band that you pretend to be?" Yeah, you know what I mean?
and then be like, okay, cool. Instead of doing our song, do a couple of your own.
Yeah.
Like, and then teach. Like, you have a genuine time to teach a band to be fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability to do that. Like,
He was the best part. That dude didn't even care. That dude left Judas Priest and went back to his cover band. I was like,
And
Yeah.
then you had fucking, what is it? You had Iron Maiden, who talks about the Iron Maidens.
Yeah.
So, like, dude,
They're great, bro.
they're
Iron
fucking
Maidens are
amazing.
great. Shout out to Iron Maidens,
By
bro.
the way, yeah, absolutely love you
Shout out
guys.
to Iron Maidens and Girl School. Girl School?
Yeah,
Oh,
dude,
bro, I love
holy
Girl
shit.
School.
Holy
And even
shit.
Lemmy backs him up because he toured with what, Hatebreed? He toured with Hatebreed, and Hatebreed was like, I mean, yeah, I guess they're good for girls. And Lemmy Kilmister was like, they're better than you guys.
Yeah,
He's like, that's for fucking sure.
Hatebreed is not fucking good, bro.
I don't know much Hatebreed, so I can't even.
I listened to like a few of their songs, and they're all right.
I can't really like say anything about Hatebreed. I haven't heard them. I just think it's funny that he made that comment and Lemmy Kilmister just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
was like, bro, they're better than you. Go suck
yeah,
a dick.
We miss Lemmy.
Yeah, it sucks.
But anyway, that's not the point of this. As we keep saying, that's not the point of this and coming back.
Real quick before we wrap up, because I think we're done with Metallica. Real quick, did you hear that Motorhead's about to release a new album?
I'm listening.
They're about to release a new album. Since they don't have Lemmy anymore, they got another vocalist. So another vocalist and another bassist.
Do you want to do like a review on that one?
I don't know. I wanted to do a double feature where we did the Judas Priest new album and Motorhead's new album when it drops.
Okay, I can see
think that'd be dope.
I can see that. So just to kind of summarize the episode here, right? What would you say
About
the whole Metallica trying to sue its fans, trying to fucking like just fucking around with people in general?
I think Metallica has other stuff to do. I think honestly they have other things to do. I think Lars Ulrich, if he didn't like let his ego get in the way, he'd be a great drummer. I think he'd be the top and the best drummer ever. Again, yeah, I know you're gonna say, "Oh, well, I'm famous. I don't give a fuck." That's okay. You don't have to give a fuck. That's your job. Your job is to not give a fuck about me. That's your job as a musician, and my job as a fan is to, care.
Yeah.
That we're both doing our job. So, if it really bothers you what some random YouTuber does or what we do, you have a lot more issues on your plate, pal. Like, sorry to say that, man, but I think overall they've been picking it up when it comes to
sound.
their actual sound. As people, they've been doing more positive things, like I mentioned the Eddie Munson thing.
Yeah.
So hopefully they go in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see, hopefully that it is a fake thing and it's just
yeah.
Because like that means that we can sit there and be like, okay, cool, yeah, it wasn't fake. They're doing what they're supposed to.
But you
be
can't blame
doing.
us for thinking that it's real.
Yeah, especially with all the history that you guys have. But you guys let us know in the comments. Tell us what's up. If not, fucking who cares, bro? We'll catch you next time.
See you guys. Bye.